Hi babes, and welcome back to my channel. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. For those of you who do not know me, I am Pretty on Me, and I'm all about things lovely and nice and makeup and gorgeous, and you're gorgeous and I'm gorgeous and we all gorgeous. So today you see this face. The beat is real. It took a while. This was a bit of a struggle today because, you know, we've been in lockdown. So I hadn't been doing much. My makeup. So here I am today on the struggle bus. I'm going to show you how I achieved this look. This is a look that I actually have a little indoor date with my husband tonight. So I thought, well, why not just show you guys how I achieved this look. Very simple, nothing too crazy, but I thought it would just be fun to kind of have our little makeup time together. So if that sounds like what you're into, keep watching.
Well, hello, babes, again. So we're starting off. As you can see, I had a little bit of makeup from a previous application. I was doing a TikTok video. So I'm just kind of cleaning it up with the bioderma hydrating micellar water, which is my favorite thing to use. Actually, this week I decided something different, and I'm actually going to do a review. I started using Glossier products, so I started off with hydrating hyaluronic acid, and then I topped it off with the Lisse Latte Cream Concentrate, which has made my skin so supple. I'm starting off with a traditional brow look. I'm just not a soap brow person. I just really enjoy the really super Instagrammy eye brow look. So maybe one day I'll move over to soap brows because I do think they look amazing. But for me, I'm just, I'm just old fashioned. I'm just old fashioned and I don't feel like changing. I'm just using the Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade in dark brown, and then as always, I'm following it up with the MAC Studio Finish concealer in NW42, and I'm using that just to kind of chisel out the brows. It's really important that when if you do decide to go with this look and chisel out your brows, that you bring some of that concealer down into kind of closer to the eyelid, just so that way you don't have that weird haloing effect. I cannot stand it, and I try my best to avoid it. Now, again, this is not really usual for me. I don't like using concealer as something to put on my lid, so I'm going to put that out there as a disclaimer. It's only when I'm just trying to do a quick look or I'm just trying to do something really quick in which I'll do this. One of the things that I used to do is I used to set the concealer on my lid or even the primer on my lid with powder, and then I realized that you don't really need to do that because eyeshadow is powder. But in this case, I'm using the DANESSA MYRICKS COLORFIX matte in the color Primary Red, just to have a little sultry look, a little bright, but not too sultry. I'm not doing anything too smoky, so I'm just kind of packing it on the lid. The thing about using DANESSA MYRICKS' COLORFIX mattes is that they dry down pretty quickly. So I found that I had to add maybe a second layer just to kind of build it up, and add the first layer to kind of set my base. And then as you can see here on my lid, I'm just packing on a second layer just to kind of, bring a little color into it. So I'm taking my Morphe brush and I'm just diffusing the color fix, and I'm just diffusing it before it dries down because honey, once it dries down, it is down. So it actually dries down pretty quickly. So you have to move kind of quick. And as y'all know, if you've been watching some of my videos, I've been in love with the NARS Soft Matte Foundation, and I'm using the color Macao. Macao, I'm starting to realize is not really my summer color. Just a little bit, just a wee bit. And following that up with my usual Studio Finish concealer from MAC, and I'm using a Morphe fluffy concealer brush just to kind of pack that in. Get a little bit on my forehead, in the middle, on the chin. And then I'm actually using the MAC concealer in NW55 as for my contour. I've just been in love with using this concealer for a contour lately. I'm not really into powder contours lately. I'll probably say lately. Or powder bronzers. I'm really just loving the ease of use, or at least how malleable the concealer method is. So just keep in mind as well, I'm using a fluffy angled brush in order to start building out that contour or blending out that contour. So remember when that you're on the cheeks is that you're kind of blending up. You don't want to go down because again, you just want to kind of get it in the hollow of your cheeks. You want to get it in the hollow of your cheeks in order to sculpt out those cheekbones. If you have a face shape like mine is more of an oval shape. And I'm getting a little bit of my nose, because I want that nose to be snatched, and I'm blending out really, really well. This is actually an e.l.f. brush that I use for my personal makeup, and it's lasted me so long you don't understand, and I'm so shocked that this brush has served me well. And I'm just going back over with my beauty blender just so I can blend everything in. If you notice, I haven't really blended out the concealer yet, and that's because I like for the studio finish to get a little tacky. Not a little tacky, but just kind of dry down a little bit before I actually start blending it out. I find that prevents a little bit of the creasing, as the studio finish can actually crease quite a bit if you're not careful. So I'll kind of leave it to my last step. I'll do all my contouring first, I'll do a bit of blending out first, and then I'll actually come back, as you can see here, to my concealer and brightening up that under eye. So I'm just spreading it out. I'm just using that same Morphe fluffy concealer brush, and I am just blending out afterwards because nobody likes an unblended face. So now I'm using the Huda Beauty. I actually didn't think I was going to like this, but I actually love this powder. It is in the color Banana. And as you can see, I'm not really baking with it. I'm just using a small fluffy brush, and I'm just kind of patting that in. And you can even see on camera that it's just kind of, oh, I just love that blurring effect that it has when you actually use powders on a DSLR camera, or at least a camera like mine, which is not that great. My camera's not that great, but one day I'll have an expensive camera. One of these days. So I am finishing it up with Becca, and this is the Becca highlighter in Champagne Pop. Oh my goodness, girl. I love this highlighter. So for those of you, I actually heard through the grapevine, if it hasn't happened already, that the company is actually going out of business. So I don't know if this is still available, but this was like a cult classic amongst makeup artists with this Champagne Pop. I love it. And then I'm just kind of going back in. This time I am using the DANESSA MYRICKS Primary Red ColorFix Matte. However, I am kind of following it up with the Norvina palette, and I am using one of the more redder powders just to kind of make it a little bit more visible, you know what I'm saying? A little bit more, let it a little bit more poppage, you know what I mean? So just kind of going in, and then I'm using that Champagne Pop from Becca in order to just kind of brighten up the tear duct. I've always loved doing this. And then I'm using, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, these are like some lashes that I found from the beauty supply, because this is an indoor date, okay? Indoor date. And just kind of pinching at the corners so that way it will stick to my eye. And that's the look. That's the look.
So I hope you babes enjoyed this look today. Leave a comment below. Let me know what your favorite date night look is, or if you're even doing date nights right now. Maybe you're single and like date nights are awkward because they're on Zoom right now. Maybe they're not awkward. Either way, leave me a comment below. And before you leave, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know exactly when these videos come out. And head on over to our Babe Squad on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, babes, don't forget to tune in on Fridays for all day reminders that you slay every which way. And I'll see you babes in the next video. Bye.